welcome back. Infinite Arts Mart, where art makes you smart and happy, and dare I say holy, as we explore the sacred beauty and joy of art in our life. And that was Moonflower, Flor de Luna by Santana. We're continuing on our moon theme for this last week of March. I've got some fun moon flower items and moon colored items and things that you might think to see on the moon, and have too much comedy and awe. Just a couple things I'd like to share. One was I was relaxing and working on a poem in my bedroom, you know, just looking out. I look out onto this very nice open piece of land. A little blackbird lighted on my windowsill. And he looked in and I looked at him. I made myself a little bit more visible, and then I started talking to it, you know. Hello, you know, aren't you pretty? And I see you. And then I thought he really did see me. We had good eye contact. And he's looking, he's checking out my room, you know. I think he probably saw flowers and things, you know, in vases and, you know, and thinking about, well, I can't really get in there. And then I'm still talking to it, and then it just kind of flew off, and I think it had a little something to say when it left. So that was my Christmas sighting. There was many more Christmas sightings. Oh, I'm going to load that video up. I saw, I'm driving the river road again, along the river, and here was a cacophony of fish and cormorants. It was a whole society, a whole flock of them, and a couple pelicans. And they were enjoying this fish school that was moving through there. And so I'll post that pretty soon too. And on my walk practicing that beautiful song, Flor de Luna, I saw some flowers, and this was the daytime, of course, and it looked like the moonflower. It looked a little like this. We do have moonflowers here. They come out at night. They bloom at night. They're like a white morning glory. You know, it's a very early morning in the late, you know, after midnight. So that's fun. And what else? Oh, what was kind of funny, I was watching a movie, and if you're like me, I hate the commercials. And it's the same old commercial over and over. And some of them are very long. So I mute it and I go do something else. I refresh my drink or, you know, take a break. And I had muted it and it came back before I thought it would. And this was one of those Westerns, this old Western. It was called The Stalking Moon. And it was really kind of scary, a little bit scary Western. And he went with Gregory Peck, and I'll put that in the description as well. And hardly any dialogue at all. And there's actually one scene where he says, I want you to come over here, this woman and her son, her Indian son, her boy that she's taken care of, and evidently they're running from someone, and it's really traumatic. And so not a lot of talk at all. She convinces him to take her and to where she needs to go. And he says to her, well, I want you to talk. I want you to talk about, you know, I want you to say pass the salt or pass the meat, or I want you to talk. And she eventually opens up why she doesn't talk and wanted to talk or been able to talk. And anyway, I saw that the movie was back on, and anyway, it's evident that she was telling him the major reasoning for her running away and trying to keep away from this other person. And in a matter of seconds, I missed the major part of the plot. Oh, well, maybe I'll rent it out and watch it again. And I was late in starting it anyway. So that was kind of funny, but not funny, you know. I had muted and I missed it. All right, we're going to move on because I don't have much more that was funny. I wish you would share, contact me at iamnancyshow@gmail.com. And come be on the show, and let's present your art, and let's tell our funny stories. And maybe that's comedy is what you do. So contact me, and we'll just have a good time. So I want to show you some items. I'm going to do a little fashion show. I told you we were going to phase into some flowers. It's spring now. Got some beautiful flower items. So let's talk about those. And green things. Palm trees are green. I think they're so cool. I think they kind of look alien too. Tropical, but like in a foreign land that you would see. So I've got all my palm tree things out. I've got a scarf too. It goes over your head. And palm tree placemats, cloth placemats. Aren't they pretty? And I have 4 of these. They're all the same. You can see the clouds. Those are cool, aren't they? Vintage for your patio. Yeah. I love palm trees. I love living here. I love the tropics, huh? I have also this pillow, which is a fun palm tree pillow. I have plenty of palm tree things, so everything's available. These you would really want to put in your window where the light can shine through them. These are vintage art. There's a hammock between those palm trees. Sweet. And they're really a pair. They kind of go together, but I'll separate them if you really only want one. Fun, huh? Yeah. So those are still available. Cup and saucer, sort of springy and pretty green, and it's got feet on it. Look at that, huh? That's an old Victorian scene. And there's something on both sides. Flowers on the other side. Boy, really special tea in that, huh? And the saucer too. And this is by Andrea, hand painted, made in occupied Japan. Interesting, huh? Sweet. For your espresso. And can be French, je t'aime. That means I love you. In green. Boy, we're finding February things in March. The light went out. That lamp is still available. Can you see that? That sort of bubbly mid-century modern lamp. It's hard to see when it's all lit up. I'm still doing watercolors. I did Peace Lily. Interesting, huh? And I still have, speaking of the Orient, I have these fun green little cups. Asian, I have 3 of those. And they are from China, I believe. They're stamped on the bottom. My Asian friends contact me and let me know what these are. Aren't they fun though? Some Irish things that I didn't show around St. Patrick's. I still have the St. George's Hotel trinket dish or ashtray. It's kind of a large tray in London, made in London. We'll have to talk about St. George sometime. Slew the dragon. And I have some shamrocks. I have a green little trinket and a brown one. And these are little pill boxes, Bakelite pill boxes for the side of your nightstand to put in your important things that you might need in the morning or in the evening or in the middle of the night. Aren't those fun? And you can break them up. You can just buy one, both, the whole thing. Contact me at IamNancyShow@gmail.com. I have some Christmas demi-tasse I wanted to show you, green and red. Aren't they sweet? And these are fine porcelain. And it's not telling me where they were made. But those are grapes on the vine. And there's 3 of them. Does anybody recognize that stamp? Let me know. Contact me at IamNancyShow@gmail.com. Set you right up. Maybe you just like green and red. It doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be in the middle of the summer, too. We can have Christmas in July. Yes. Are you enjoying the show so far? Yes. All right, little fashion. For you ladies, and you men, think of your lady friends. So, here's a fun scarf, huh? They look kind of like moonbeams, don't they? Isn't that sweet? It's a go over your head. And my mother taught me that if it's the same tone green, it will match. It will be fine. And I do believe I have a light enough green in this and white that it goes with my gown, which is also available. You ladies, I'm kind of on the small side. This is probably a size 7. Florida scarves. And this has a palm tree on it. And all about Florida. It's got some big game fish on it. Isn't that fun vintage? Hialeah Park. Oh, you know where that is, huh? That's down south where they play. And there's the state of Florida. Cool, huh? Here we are on the edge where the rocket ships are. Are there rocket ships? Don't. Because it's mostly probably for Miami area with Hialeah on there. Here's a fun green. Oh, I've got flowers for spring. Look at this. This is one of my favorite. Look at this one. This is so large you could probably use it as a skirt to a cover-up, bathing suit cover-up. Isn't that sweet? Look at the colors. Goes perfect with this dress. Yes. That I've had on the show before. It's a little heavy on the heavier side. And but actually, it's just bigger and it's just a wonderful material. It's really not that heavy, but if you wanted, you could really, it's a shawl. See how large it is? And it's got this wonderful deco, like peacock pattern on it. Sweet, huh? That's just a fun one, And more flowers. These flowers are coming out. It's spring again. I love spring. It's one of the best times of the year down here. Spring and fall. Well, we had a very nice mild winter. It wasn't too terrible. Just a couple chilly days. I have a nice, like, iridescent glass bead necklace, too, which is kind of looks kind of the moon. Oh, and I have some flower earrings. Show you those. They're kind of like daisies, but with a little rhinestone in the center. Aren't they sweet? Pretty color, huh? That. Aren't they sweet? I was told by a friend the other day, this is her favorite color, this mint green. I'm talking about, you could get those earrings for her. All right, I've got more. I've got some more. I'm going to go into a little more modern things. This could be like moonbeams. Good job. Moonbeams. It's fun, huh? Keeps you warm, covers his shoulders, and but at the same time lets things breathe smoothly. This is sort of an abstract art piece, isn't it? Yeah. I like that one too. More geometrics. How about triangles? It's fun, huh? I like some modern looking things. It's very, Jetson. Here comes Elroy, daughter Judy. Yeah. For maybe the beach or Nautica? Are you a boater? Do you like the water? Isn't that fun? Modern. Nice colors, huh? Look at these colors. You could use that as a beach wrap too, maybe. Nautica? What else? Here's another modern thing with numbers and letters. Trying to say techno. Rewind. Oh. Nice, huh? Bright. Kind of fun, huh? The yellows and more of these flower colors, but yet it's a modern abstract piece with words and numbers again, huh? Yeah. Also I've got, save those for the last. Maybe you're gonna go on a cruise to the Bahamas. Check this out. Very nice, huh? Almost Christmassy, huh? These colors? Too, with the yellows and the reds. And seashells on here. That's a fun one. And it says, Island of the Bahamas. Sweet. Those palm trees. Look at those. and poinsettias and or hibiscus, I mean. They could be poinsettias. No, those are hibiscus. Very similar looking. Here's more flowers. This is kind of Van Gogh. Look at this one. These are works of art, these shawls and scarves, aren't they? Nice. Fly me to the moon, but it's only a paper moon. Cardboard sea. Hot air balloons. Who digs those, huh? Have you ever been up in one? I have, when I was very little. So it wouldn't scare me. I was beyond understanding. The scariness of that. It was too exciting. Oh, and we're going to move on to our birthday, our famous birthday, and I have this scarf. I think I've had this on the show before. Is it your birthday? Are you going to have an ice cream cone? Oh, I was just writing about ice cream cones. Memoir. What kind of ice cream do you like? Popsicles? Fun, Happy birthday, all you March babies. The last week of March, babies, coming up. Under an orange. Green polka dot. Sky. That's a fun song, huh? I think I got the words mixed up on that. Zap. Wham, zap. You came by, and then you came by. Maybe you need to see. Yeah, check that out, huh? Could tie the hair back with them. Also, green polka dots. Green is such a fun color. Talk about mod, huh? Modern. Yeah, that's a fun one. Smaller and larger. Polka dots. Okay. Contact me at iamnancyshow@gmail.com and we will set you right up. I do have some characters, some little pillows. Hulk. And this is, I believe this is Iron Man. And those are fun. Yeah, look at the faces. I'm serious, don't mess with me. You can rest your little head on me though. Take a rest. Fun colors, huh? So those are available. Alright, on to our birthday. And that would be a man of flowers and plants. And his name is, let's sit down maybe, take a rest. Conrad Gressner. He was born March 26th, 1516, passed away December 1565. A Swiss physician, naturalist, bibliographer, and philologist. Born into a poor family in Zurich, Switzerland, his family and teachers quickly realized his talents and supported him through university, where he studied classical languages, theology, and medicine. He became Zurich's city physician, but was able to spend much of his time on collecting, research, and writing. Gressner compiled monumental works on bibliography and was working on a major botanical text at the time of his death from a plague at the young age of 49. He is regarded as the father of modern scientific bibliography, zoology, and botany. He was frequently the first to describe species of plants or animals in Europe, such as the tulip in 1559. A number of plants and animals have been named after him. First attended the Carolinum in Zurich, then later entered the Fraumünster Seminary. There he studied classical languages, appearing as Penia Poverty in Aristophanes' Plutus at the age of 15. In school, he impressed his teachers so much that a few of them helped sponsor him so that he could further his education, including arranging a scholarship for him to attend university in France to study theology at the age of 17. There he attended the University of Bourges and University of Paris. Religious persecution forced him to leave Paris for Strasbourg, but being unable to secure employment, he returned to Zurich. One of his teachers in Zurich acted as a foster father to him after his father died at the Battle of Kappel in 1531. And another provided him with 3 years of board and lodging, while yet another arranged his further education at the upper school in Strasbourg, the Strasbourg Academy. There he broadened his knowledge of ancient languages by studying Hebrew. In 1535, religious unrest drove him back to Zurich, where he made what some considered an imprudent marriage at the age of 19 of a woman of another poor family who had no dowry. Although some of his friends again came to his aid, he was appointed to obtaining a teaching position for him. This was in the lowest class and attracted a stipend, barely more than a pittance. However, he then obtained a paid leave of absence to study medicine at the University of Basel in 1536. Throughout his life, Gressner was interested in natural history and collected specimens and descriptions of wildlife through travel and extensive correspondence with other friends and scholars. In 1543, Arnoldus Arlenius invited Gressner to Venice. Gressner traveled to Italy that same summer. He encountered Venetian printing and a hidden world of Greek manuscripts. His approach to research consisted of 4 main components: observation, dissection, travel to distant lands, and accurate description. This rising observational approach was new to Renaissance scholars because people usually relied completely upon classical writers for their research. Contemporaries, he was best known as a botanist. Despite his traveling ways and the job of maintaining his own gardens, Gressner probably spent most of his time inside his own extensive library. He listed among his history of animals sources more than 80 Greek authors and at least 175 Latin authors, as well as works by German, French, and Italian authors. He even attempted to establish a universal library of all books in existence. Whoa, huh? What a project. Might sound strange to the modern mind, but Gressner invested tremendous energy in the project. He sniffed through remote libraries along with the collections of the Vatican Library and catalogs of printers and booksellers. By assembling this universal library of information, Gressner put together a database centuries before computers would ease such work. He cut relevant passages out of books, grouped the cuttings by general themes, subdivided the groups into more specific categories, and boxed them. He could then retrieve and arrange the cuttings as needed. In the words of science writer Anna Pavord, quote, he was a one-man search engine, a 16th century Google with the added bonus of critical evaluation, unquote. So please check out Conrad Gressner, fascinating artist. I'm going to show you a picture of him, and he looks like a very content man. doesn't he? He looks so self-possessed and, you know, content. I think a lot of people that work with plants and animals and such are very happy people. So let's get out in nature this spring, huh? All right, we're going to move on to our saint. We have Lucy Filippini. I realize we need to have some lady saints on. So here's a beautiful woman. She was born on the 13th of January, 1672, and she passed away on the 25th of March, 1732. She was beatified on the 13th of June, 1926. She remains in the St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican by Pope Pius XI and Kingdom of Italy. Her feast is the 25th of March, and her attributes are the religious habit. Let me tell you a little about her. With the assistance of Cardinal Giovanni Francesco Barbarigo, Rose Venerini founded schools for young women, especially the poor in Viterbo. The Cardinal's relative, Cardinal Marcantonio Barbarigo, invited Venerini to establish schools in his diocese of Montefiascone. When Venerini had to return to Viterbo to look after the establishments there, Marcantonio entrusted the schools to Lucy Filippini. She then founded the Institute of the Maestre Pai to staff the schools and continue her work. They are known as the Filippini Sisters. She was the fifth of the youngest child of Filippo Filippini and Maddalena Picci. She had not yet reached her first birthday when her mother died, and was buried in the church of San Marco. Her father, whom she loved dearly, also died 6 years later, and was buried in the church of Santa Margherita in Corneto. She was orphaned at an early age, and at the age of 6, she went to live with her aristocratic aunt and uncle, who encouraged her religious inclination by entrusting her education to the Benedictine nuns at Santa Lucia. Her career began under the patronage, again, of Cardinal Marcantonio Barbarigo, who entrusted her with the work of founding the schools for young women, especially the poor. In 1692, with Rose Venerini, to train school teachers, she co-founded with Barbarigo the Pious Teachers, Religious Teachers Filippini, a group dedicated to the education of girls. The young ladies of Montefiascone were taught domestic arts, weaving, embroidery, reading, Christian doctrine. 12 years later, the cardinal devised a set of rules to guide Lucy and her followers in the religious life. 52 schools were established during Lucy's lifetime. In 1707, Pope Clement XI called Lucy to Rome to start schools, which he placed under his special protection. Religious Teachers Filippini is credited with the religious and social improvement of Italian women well before compulsory education. In 1732, she died of breast cancer, age 60, at Montefiascone. She's buried at the Cathedral of Montefiascone, and again canonized on June 22nd, 1930. She was given the last niche at St. Peter's Basilica, and her statue can be seen in the first upper niche from the main entrance on the left south side of the nave of the basilica. Her feast day again is March 25th. I'll show you a picture of hers. Here's the statue in St. Peter's Basilica by Silvio Silva, 1949. And a cross in her hand. And Lucy again means light, so send us your light, St. Lucy, for our young ladies and for mothers and fathers of our young ladies. Let us rear them and raise them to be ladies after Our Lady and all the saints. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Please check her out. There's more to learn about St. Lucy. Really fun. We are going to move on to our birthdays. Oh, I have another green item. I have a cake plate that I put these little candies on in another plate for our last week of March birthdays. And I found these little candy cutters with shapes of moons and stars and clover and flowers and hearts. Isn't that fun? Isn't that a sweet cake plate? Floral, green, got some very little feet, but it raises it up, lets the air breathe. So we're going to light this candle, and let's put it where you can see it. I have one more plate I can show. It has some green in it. And this has been on the show before, but this is a window in the Chartres Cathedral. And this is a reproduction of the stained glass window Cathedral of Chartres, France, about 1300 AD. And it's really not to be used for food. It's more of a decorative plate. Isn't that beauteous though? And here on the back is what it says it is. And this is available. It's got a nice little hanging hook. And contact me at iamnancyshow@gmail.com and we will set you up. We'll pack it nice and good if we need to ship it. And 10% always goes to help those most in need, year round. So, yes. I didn't have any no's tonight, huh? Maybe some of those scarves. Yeah. We can say no. But let's say yes to helping the poor. Oh, a couple more things I'm forgetting. This happens. So I have a fun palm tree coffee or teacup with its own little spoon holder. Isn't that nice? It says Florida on it. And that's microwave safe too, I believe. Nice olive green color. And I have plates with palm trees on them too, if you're interested. They're just visible. Aren't they fun? You could use that as a little plate for your tea time. You could have your little snack or crumpet on the side. Okay. Happy birthday. Let's say a wish and make a prayer. Bye now. Remember to like and share, subscribe, contact me, and let's help those most in need with art.